Hi there. Today we're going to discuss sales tax, tips, and markup. Objectives and standards. Today we're going to find the sales tax and the total cost of an item, and then we're going to find tips and markups. We're going to use proportional relationships to solve multi-step ratio and percent problems. We're going to understand that rewriting an expression in different forms in a problem context can shed light on the problem and how quantities are related. And then we're going to solve multi-step real-life and mathematical problems. Okay, so the vocabulary you need to know for today is sales tax, tip, gratuity, markup, and selling price. Sales tax and total cost. Sales tax is an additional amount of money charged on items that people buy. The total cost of an item is the regular price plus the sales tax. There are two methods to calculate additional percentages, and additional percentages are in the cases of sales tax, tips, and markups. The first method is when you add the amount at the end. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to multiply the percent times the original amount, and whatever you get there, you're going to add it to the original amount at the end. Method 2, you add the percentage to 100 and then you multiply it times the original amount. So I'm going to show you both ways for a couple problems, and then at that point you can kind of decide which method you like best and use that one whenever you're problem solving. Our first example is Drew. He wants to buy exercise equipment that costs $140. Sales tax is 5.75%. They want to know what the total cost is of the equipment. So we know that sales tax is an additional percentage added on to the price that you're supposed to pay. Now, the first method is we're going to add the sales tax to the regular price. So first we have to find the tax, then we're going to add it to the price. So first, we find the sales tax, and we're going to let T represent the sales tax. So our part equals our percent times our whole. Our tax, we don't know what it is, so we're going to call it T. 5.75% is known as 0.0575. We're going to multiply that percentage times $140, and we're going to get $8.05. So what's happening is on top of the $140 that you're spending, you also have to pay an additional $8.05 in tax. So now is the point when you add it all together. So $8.05 plus $140, that equals $148.05. That's if you find the tax first, then you add it at the end. Method 2 states that we should add the percentage to 100, and then we multiply that. So you have 100%, which you are paying 100% of the price. Then you're going to add the 5.75%, that's your tax. So altogether, you're paying 105.75% of the price. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to multiply your 105.75% as a decimal, that's 1.0575 times 140, and then we get $148.05. So either way, whether you did it using method 1 or method 2, the answer comes out to $148.05. So just to recap, the first method, we found the tax, then we added it at the end. Method 2, we added the percent and multiplied it times the original price. All right, here's another way to have additional percentages. This is tips and markups. A tip or gratuity is a small amount of money in return for a service. The total price is the regular price of the service plus the tip. So this is when you're tipping people for like restaurants, if they are working on your car, stuff like that when they give you a service and you're just going to give them an additional amount of money. A store sells items for more than it pays for those items. The amount of increase is called the markup. Okay, so whatever they pay for an item, let's say for a pair of jeans, they're actually going to charge you a little bit more, and that's called the markup. The selling price is the amount that the customer pays for the item. Okay, so a customer wants a tip of 15% on a restaurant bill that is $35. What will be the total bill with the tip? Okay, I'm going to show you with method 1 and method 2. Method 1 again is we're going to find the amount first and we're going to add it on the end. So we're going to add the tip to the regular price. So first we're going to find what exactly is the tip. So again, we're going to call T for tip. And here we have tip equals the percentage times the number. So 15% is 0.15. We multiply it times 35, and it ends up to be 5.25 or $5.25. So on top of the $35 at the restaurant, you have to pay $5.25 as your tip. So altogether, you're going to be paying $40.25. All right, using method two, we're going to add the percent of tip to 100%. So our amount of tip was 15%. So we're going to add 15% to 100%. So that's 115%. So you're going to pay 115% of the bill to altogether. So the total cost is 150% of the bill. So let T represent the total. So we're going to change 115% to a decimal, which is 1.15. Multiply that times 35, and we get $40.25. So using either method, the total cost of the bill, the tip, is $40.25. Okay. Here's an example of having tax and a tip for services like haircuts. So, and that happens at restaurants too. You still have to pay the tax on the food. So first thing we're going to do is add our sales tax and tip together. So our sales tax is 4.75% and the tip is 15%. So altogether, you have to pay 19.75% on top of the $20. So we're going to let T represent the tax and the tip because we have a new percentage, 19.75. So we're going to find out how much is 19.75% of our $20. So let's convert our percentage into a decimal, so that's 0.1975. I'm going to multiply it times my $20, and that equals $3.95. So my additional cost with the tax and the tip off of $20 is $3.95. So now I'm going to have to add that on to what I'm paying already, the $20. So altogether, I should be paying $23.95. Now, since I have $23.95 and it's less than 25 bucks, the $25 is enough to cover the total cost. Okay, so this is a really good question. They're just going to ask you, do you have enough money, yes or no, after you find out the tax and the tip. All right, our next example is about markup. So a store pays $56 for a GPS navigation system. The markup is 25%, so find the selling price. Again, the selling price is how much the customer has to pay. So the first thing we're going to do, we have to find the markup. We don't know what it is, so we're going to call it M. So our markup is 25% of $56. So this is what they paid for it. 25% of it, they're going to add on to it, and the customer is going to pay that. So 25% equals 0.25. We're going to multiply that times 56, so that's $14. So they're charging an extra $14 to the customer. So now we're going to add that up, and we're going to get $70. So the selling price for the GPS navigation system is now going to be $70, not the $56 that they originally paid for it. Okay, today we solved problems using sales tax, tips, and markups. Hope that video was helpful. Thank you. Bye.